Hello and welcome to Glorious Miniatures on the 9th of April 2023. Obviously, I've been away for a couple of weeks, but we are back to it. And just to quickly say, I am going to attempt to do some sort of video recording. Not quite painting videos yet, but something a bit more basic. Hopefully we can progress from there. So let's just get stuck into it. We've got the Sunday preview. The Lion awakens for the cataclysmic Arcs of Omen finale. It goes without saying that Lion El'Jonson steals the show this week, but there's still plenty more to look forward to in next week's pre-orders. The final chapter of the Arcs of Omen story, 2 Space Marine Chapter Masters, 2 new made-to-order releases, and the first episode of Black Talon, a new animated series on Warhammer Plus. Let's see what the week has in store. The Lion and retinue. The Lion has risen from his 10,000-year slumber, and he's wasting no time putting traitors to the sword. The Primarch of the Dark Angels is a monstrously powerful duelist, an indomitable battlefield leader, armed with the Emperor's own shield and a massive power sword named Fealty. The first chance to get him is in the celebratory launch set. Alongside Lionel, you get 3 elite Blade Guard veterans, the perfect retinue for such a close combat powerhouse. A packed Dark Angels transfer sheet and 2 beautiful prints depicting key art from the Arcs of Omen, the Lion. Now, personally, I think I will be getting this. Obviously, I don't really... Not too fussed about Dark Angels in general. However, it looks like a fun miniature to paint. And some Blade Guard veterans, well, who doesn't like those? So I reckon I could use those towards a custom chapter or something like that. And Lionel himself looks like, as I said, a fun mini to paint. So I reckon I could potentially be getting this as long as it's not sort of, going to ruin the bank account balance. As with most things, it'll really come down to the price. Arcs of Omen, the Lion. Okay, so this is the last book, I believe. The Arcs of Omen saga finally comes to a close in Arcs of Omen, the Lion, as Vashtorr the Arkifane assembles his key fragments and begins a ritual of cataclysmic proportions. The Dark Angels are hot on his heels and hungry for vengeance for the assault on the rock, but even they can't predict what they'll find when information extracted from a traitor leads to the far reaches of the galaxy. What we do know is this: before the end, a Primarch will return to lead his sons against the overwhelming Chaos Horde. Lion El'Jonson walks the galaxy again, and an epic duel with his brother Angron beckons. In addition to concluding the last narrative arc, Warhammer 40,000 Arcs of Omen Lion contains expanded rules for boarding actions. On top of extra rules, the Leagues of Votan, Thousand Suns, Imperial Agents, and Adeptus Custodes. There's a suite of diverse dread encounter missions to add scenarios that tear the battlefield itself apart and suck walls and doorways into the warp, while 12 breaching operation missions let you smash straight through solid walls and leave diabolical traps for your foes. That is the book there. I kind of like this artwork. I know I say that a lot, but I do. Especially, I can't remember which is the fancy one. I'm assuming the fancy one is the one with all the artwork on. So I was going to say the bit on the bottom left, I kind of caught my eye as well. That's definitely one to keep your eyes peeled. I don't have any of these books yet, so I guess that'd be sort of £120 for all 4. And I don't know. I might get them for the lore and the artwork, maybe. But with 10th edition rapidly approaching, who knows? Supreme Grandmaster Azrael. Now, I have painted this previously, but not the Primaris version. So, fresh from his battle with Vashtorr, Supreme Grandmaster Azrael gets a standalone release just in time to lead the charge into the Arkifane's lair. He's an imposing miniature merging new Primaris style with plenty of classic details, from his back banner to the ornate lion helm. Yeah, this is a very similar miniature to the one I painted, the old Firstborn style. Obviously in its new Primaris style. I'm glad they kept the back banner. Frankly, I wish they'd keep more back banners in the game. I do miss them. So I'm very happy to see that. Sword and the pose is very similar. You got his little, I forget what these, watch, I don't know, these things, these carrying the helmet. I can't remember what they call them. Anyway, it's nice to keep them as well. Yeah, it looks like a fun mini to paint. Whether or not I'll get it, as I said, I'm not really a collector of Dark Angels, so it's really a bit of, we'll see what happens when the price appears. Let's scroll down. Oh, sweet. Oh, dear. Well, Commander Dante... Azrael isn't the only chapter master given the Primaris treatment. Commander Dante has barely tied a bow on the apocalyptic invasion of Baal, and he's already off finding more enemies of the Imperium to destroy. Someone really needs to give the guy a holiday. Okay, so I don't know if I was expecting this one. However, I'm absolutely purchasing him. I do have a small force of Blood Angels. I'm very glad. He might not be glad to still be in the fight, but I'm glad he has got a sort of a new release for him. He looks pretty fun to paint. That looks like some lovely, lovely non-metallic metal going on there. And whether or not I attempt that is a different thing, but I will be purchasing that. So that is a definite purchase. I like this one. Hopefully they can bring some Sanguinary Guards updated to them as well, but who knows? What else we got here? We've got Vashtorr the Arkifane. It's had a few setbacks, but the time for Vashtorr to enact his grand plan is nigh. There are still a few things left to do on the battlefield, though, so the Arkifane takes the field, his own standalone release, ready to lead his cult in person. Now, I have said before, I might get this miniature at some point. I do have some Iron Warriors. I might get this miniature and turn it into an Iron Warriors Demon Prince rather than Vashtorr himself. I reckon it would be a good Demon Prince with wings, potentially. Something like that. He's got the malefic talons, talons, and all that sort of stuff. So I reckon he's a good proposition in that regard. I don't know what people think, but let me know what any of these have caught your eye yet. What else do we have? There's quite a lot to do. The Ark's Foam and Sanguinary Guard dice set. Sanguinary Guard are an awe-inspiring sight. Well, when they get primarisized, yes. Decked out in gleaming gold armor and descending on pearl-white wings like true angels of death. This pack of 15 metallic gold dice are an equal match to their splendor, featuring royal red pips and the icon of their chapter on the sixth face. Good stuff. I know some people will be all about that. Scrolling down to Boarding Patrol Leagues of Votann. The Leagues of Votann have unparalleled expertise in salvaging space hulks, and their boarding patrol is packed with durable fighters who love a close quarters scrap. An Einherjar champion leads 5 Einherjar Hearthguards to the patrol's immovable core, while 5 Chthonian Berserks and 10 Hearthkin warriors spread out to secure objectives all over the ship. Potentially, I did buy the initial army box. Merging this and that would probably go together quite well. I don't have any of the Hearthkin. No, the Berserks, I don't have any of them yet. I think initially I said I wasn't too keen on them, but I don't know. We'll see. But they're finally getting the boarding patrol action. I think we're basically down to the last few now. And the next one is, of course, Boarding Patrol Agents of the Imperium. The crews of Imperial Navy vessels are the first line of defense in brutal boarding actions, and a team of breachers punch far above their weight in close confines. This boarding patrol, perhaps representing a rogue trader's own combat team, consists entirely of agents of the Imperium. Units usually is restricted to a supporting role. 10 Elucidian, Starstriders, and 20 Imperial Navy breachers make it a numerous and capable force. There's also an Aversa assassin joining them. Clearly someone important is on the other side of the bulkhead. So I did get Blackstone Fortress, and I've already got a chunk of these, I believe. Was it? I've forgotten what some of these came from. I thought some of these came from the Blackstone Fortress. And I think one of the kill teams as well merged together. The good force, potentially. I don't know if an army is viable from this or not. Who knows? Maybe not. What else do we have down here? Made to order Drukhari. Strange creatures and alien mercenaries are commonplace in Commorragh. Many end up in the courts of Archons, while their exotic abilities are highly prized. Others find themselves under the yoke of a Beastmaster, or twisted by the insane experiments of the homunculi. And now, a grand selection of these unfortunates return next week on a made-to-order basis. These resin kits. Oh, yes. Will be available to order for 9 days between the 15th of April and 8 a.m. UK time on the 24th of April, and they can take up to 180 days to arrive. Okay, so Drukhari aren't my specialty, if anything is really, but there are some crazy monsters right here, all made out of sweet, sweet fine cast. So obviously that is going to be the high point of this. You've got some bird things. One of these things, which I know is in Blackstone Fortress, I've forgotten its name. These things, they do look pretty sweet actually. But fine cast isn't tempting at all. And you got these other things right here. I'm afraid I don't know what they're called, apart from this list down here telling us. Beastmasters, Clawed Fiends, Grotesques, Mandrakes, Razorwing Flocks, Chimerae, Lamians, Medusae, Slith, Urgles, and even the Master Homunculus Urian Rekarth himself will be available to order this Saturday. Don't miss your chance to add these sought-after miniatures to your Drukhari collection. They all look like, well, some of them certainly look like they might be fun to paint, which is usually my sort of prime thing when looking at a miniature to purchase. Obviously the price, but is it going to be fun to paint? So potentially one of these might be fun. We'll have to see. Scrolling down. Ooh, hello. Double trouble, I can see already. Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer. The massive Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer is an armored beast, mounting a triple-barreled neutron laser battery onto a rugged Spartan hull to create a devastatingly focused anti-tank weapon. It can detonate tanks in a single blast while shrugging off return fire like it's nothing. Everything you want in a Lord of War. Look at this sweet miniature. Obviously, I do have the Typhon now, and I'm definitely purchasing. Absolutely purchasing this. I always wanted this for my Imperial Fists. The Typhon was originally going to go with my Iron Warriors that accidentally ended up with my Imperial Fists as well for the moment. So we'll see about that. And then we got the Sicaran Venator Tank Hunter. If you prefer your anti-tank options a little more discreet, the Sicaran Venator trades mass for speed and can wind its way around enemy flanks before lancing a neutron beam laser blast right through the sides of opposing tanks. I already have one of these in resin somewhere. I think it's deep in storage at the moment, but I have one of these already in resin. This is the sort of new updated plastic version, which is always a good thing to see in plastic. We got, what else do we have? We got the Sicaran Punisher, the one with the massive sort of Gatling gun thing on it, and the, I want to call it the Arcus. I don't know if that's the name though. Sicaran, maybe it's the Amiga. Anyway, it's got a great big sort of rocket launcher thing on it. I don't know if it's specifically anti-air or what, but we have that one to come as well. Will it appear? I suspect it will, but only time will tell. Huh. You got Cindy Piewhistle and Puggy Baconbreath. Halflings don't make natural Blood Bowl players, but with enough gumption and a good lunch, even the shortest soul can rise to league stardom. Take Cindy Piewhistle, for example, once a master baker, now a star player who weaponizes her delicious wares, while Puggy Baconbreath is an elite athlete by usual halfling standards, with the skill and discipline of a champion twice his size. This twin pack of resin star players from forgeworld can be used in halfling Thimble Cup or Old World Classic teams. So I do have the halfling team already painted up, so I could potentially get one of these. It's another forgeworld thing. That pork pie is looking delicious. Anyway, that is a potential thing from forgeworld one can look into. If forgeworld is your jam. From the Black Library, we got the Lion, Son of the Forest. Witness the dramatic return of Lion El'Jonson to the galaxy in The Lion, Son of the Forest by Mike Brooks. The Primarch of the Dark Angels has spent 10 millennia sequestered within the rock, and the time is nigh for him to rise. Well, it's about time, really. Bobby G's been carrying a lot of weight on his shoulders. It's frankly about time that someone helped, and Lionel is the person to do it. I'm aware that I'm keep calling him Lionel because unfortunately that's what I read it as. This novel takes the Lion on a quest through the shadowed paths between stars to gather loyal knights to his side once more, though many have long since been hunted as members of the Fallen. Unsure of who to trust, and without the aid of his legion, his father and his home, the Lion will need to find his place in the galaxy even less forgiving than the one he left. Sweet green book, red ribbon, gold stuff. This milestone novel is an essential read for fans of the Dark Angels and tells the tale of events leading up to Arcs of Omen the Lion, as well as its regular hardback release. The Lion, Sons of the Forest will also be available in this sumptuous limited edition featuring a green cloth cover with red, cream and gold details and a crimson ribbon page marker. Only 2,000 individually numbered copies will be available, and they're all signed by the author, so don't let your chance pass by. So get up nice and early, spam that refresh button, and try and beat the bots to get this book. What else do we have? Ooh. We have Legends of the Dark Angels. Delve into the secret history of the Unforgiven in Legends of the Dark Angels, a compilation of 4 full-length novels, 1 novella, and 3 short stories by authors Gavthorpe, C.Z. Dunn. These tales follow heroes like Supreme Grand Master Azrael, Chief Librarian Ezekiel, and more. This is the perfect place to learn more about the chapter before their Primarch returns to the galaxy. Okay, another omnibus for me to purchase. I do like the omnibuses, gathering all the books together. Currently working on a horror omnibus of some variety, but I do have another one in front of me after that. Angels of Darkness German edition, getting some foreign translations, which is always a good thing, along with Warboss, also into German. And then we got White Dwarf as well, issue 487, War of Iron, new Arcs for Omen lore and missions. Okie dokie, so you got 3 inside, boarding action, barrier tiles. You got the normal Warhammer Plus stuff. Let's just go straight back to the top. Folks, this is going to be a jam-packed week for us. I don't know what, in the end, I'm going to end up purchasing. I certainly like the idea of the Lion and Dante. Or Dante. I guess we'll see what the prices are at the end of the day, and hopefully, obviously the Cerberus, that's 3, at least 2 of those are going to be not cheap. So we'll really see what my wallet says on Saturday. Folks, if you're within the UK, do check out my Element Games affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything, but it will give me a smidgen of money if you click and then purchase through that link, and I will Hashtag appreciate you for doing that. Also, I hopefully will be getting some new videos of a different variety rather than just these article reads, as I sort of briefly said at the beginning of the video. Hopefully I can start doing some basing videos. All my paints are in storage, so I'm going to have to do something about that. I got a bit of basing materials, so we'll see what we can do though. Do make sure while you're commenting below about what you might be interested in purchasing, do make sure you've checked if you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. Also, if you like the video, especially while it's within the first 24 hours, it's a huge thing if you can do that, and it certainly helps the channel visibility. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.